Dear friends, hello and welcome today to Ukraine. We're on a testing field where we're going to see drones, but not just any kind of drones with artificial intelligence. And I'm with one of the most advanced companies in the field, Norda Dynamics. Hello, and I'm happy to meet you. Did you start getting involved in 2014 or was it directly in 2022?
Yes, that's right. I started in 2014 when Russia invaded Crimea and Donbass, and I started volunteering for our military, mainly to help them with different types of equipment. I was volunteering on my own since I have an engineering background, so I mainly helped with reconnaissance drones, with thermal vision, night vision. And in 2022, when the full-scale invasion happened, I already had a pretty solid network of military units and volunteers, hundreds of requests at the same time to deliver different types of machines. I realized I couldn't handle them alone. I started looking for where I could find good people who could do it with me.
But were these requests specific to artificial intelligence issues, or were you being asked for any kind of FPV you could find? No.
So at the beginning, the main goal was to provide all kinds of services, technologies, everything we could find. And as I said, for example, thermal vision systems, reconnaissance, DJI drones. That was before we basically lacked everything.
And the goal, was it to produce your own drones, or just to organize, for example, the logistics?
No, so at the beginning, we bought everything we could commercially. But at some point, the topic of FPV and FPV drones became so important that we searched everywhere. Where could we buy them, Kamikazes, quadcopters, to take them to the front line? We found a few drone manufacturers in Ukraine, but they told us that, okay, you can pay, but you have to wait 3 to 6 months for us to deliver because we have a huge waiting list. So we understood that in 3 to 6 months, we would probably be able to develop them ourselves. And that's how we started a small workshop to produce 200 to 300 drones per month. And as we dug deeper into the subject, we understood what the problems were and why. These drones were very inefficient, as only 8 to 10% hit their targets at the time.
What does that mean? It means efficiency was low, just 1 in 10 drones accomplished anything.
So basically, only 1 out of 10 drones was able to hit its target and destroy it. And the main difficulties are obviously the radio horizon, electronic warfare, and then the inexperienced pilots, because controlling an FPV drone is much more complicated than the DJI Mavic, which are stabilized. The logical solution, since the problem came from terminal guidance, which is also called last-mile targeting. So we started looking for where we could buy these systems, and we found a fairly advanced Ukrainian company. So we found a few foreign companies that offered products that were very, very expensive, and above all, not operational. But that wasn't a viable option, and systems costing $10,000 on drones worth 500 euros. So we realized there was a problem in the market, and we understood, obviously, that the only solution was to develop our own system ourselves. And that's how we met Alex, our chief technical officer, who was already developing such a system for the only fixed-wing drone company that was already established and operating at that time. And so we joined our efforts to work together. But really, the turning point for us was in February 2024. We took part in the Hackathon, which is organized by the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense and Brave One. We mainly came to network, to meet people and discover technologies that were still small. What happened is that in the end, we won the Hackathon, and our solution was the most advanced one. At that moment,
It involved reconnaissance or targeting.
it was targeting for the last mile.
Okay, that's powerful. It was targeting.
I liked it.
That was the worst framing in the history of drone takeoff framing. I'm sorry, but just know that in 3 seconds, you can't hear it anymore.
It was targeting.
Targeting. same exercise, but inside.
So
Now I'm flying manually. I have full control of the drone.
Now,
I can select something, for example, here
and this area.
is now locked. I can change this target.
Okay, to readjust, and even if the target moved, you could readjust in this way?
Yes, we can try to select. There are cars in some places, but it's not very reliable.
Ah, yes, I know, but don't try.
Usually we do it with our vehicles.
Okay, now you disengage.
Yes, we just disengage, that's it.
Here and there, we're using a standard generic drone, a drone...
It's one of the most widely produced drones.
Yes.
Yes, when you say it's among the most produced drones. What percentage of battlefield drones do you think have artificial intelligence?
So, from what I know, this type of fixed-wing drone is the most common when it comes to autonomous guidance systems. For the last kilometer,
So,
we have a lot of feedback from the battlefield.
And how often is that you improve your artificial intelligence system? Is it every week, every 2 months?
So yes, roughly speaking, it's a job we do as quickly as possible. Because, for example, if we have something that we're testing on the battlefield, for example, if we have good direct communication with the teams who are going to use our drone on the battlefield, in that case, after 20 minutes, we get direct feedback. Really, yes, we have cases like that.
Ah, yes, that's another exchange. It's an exchange.
So, that's our car.
But overall, on the battlefield, what do we have? About 10,000 kamikaze drones being used every day, 10,000 FPV drones per day, and a few hundred per day are equipped with artificial intelligence. Yes.
Yes, roughly. We have to improve as quickly as possible. Especially now with all these attacks that the enemy has carried out. So every night in this situation, we can't sleep normally. Your thoughts are interrupted all the time, so the question is, how do you stop all this? So we need a lot of strength to be able to respond faster.
Because you also work on air defense systems.
So that's part of our R&D, but we're not ready yet to share this system or give more details. But as I told you, if you had this pressure on the country every night with all this suffering, you would definitely think about it. And then it pushes us to move forward. That's it. It's by forcing yourself.
Friends, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Well, the main thing to remember is still this incredible ecosystem where you have assemblers, drone producers, spare parts manufacturers, printed circuit boards, 3D printers to make systems. Behind that you have battery producers, you have camera producers for day and night electronic warfare, repeaters. There's an entire ecosystem all around us. It's incredible every time I come here. They explain that the system is becoming more and more complex in order to make life increasingly simple for the end user. Because really for the pilot, the training is becoming more and more, manageable. From what I understand, a few days, a few weeks are enough for an average user to become a drone operator. And for that you need a whole ecosystem of engineers behind it. And you still have the best of what's around us. Oh, he's coming over there. Come on, this time I'll try to get him anyway. Come on. My friends, I'll see you very soon for new adventures in Ukraine and everywhere else. All right, ciao.